This podcast is part of the Michigan Sports and Entertainment Podcast Network. Go to michigansportsandentertainment.com for more great podcasts.
Hey everyone, this is Austin.
What's going on, guys? This is John.
And you're listening to the Voice of the Fan Sports Podcast. All right, John. I don't even want to try and put a number on the episode. It has been a while.
I think we're done with it.
Hope everyone's doing all right. Had a good, fun Memorial Day weekend. I know I didn't go, but Indianapolis had the Indy 500 here, which is, I suppose, a big deal. Outside of that, you doing anything fun?
I was in Wisconsin.
Oh,
again, yeah. Been out there twice actually since the last time we did a show. Although I take that back, we did that draft thing with the MSC guys. But yeah, so that a lot of alcoholic beverages consumed. So other than that, nothing really to speak of. I think we missed Easter too. I don't think we've done like a show for us since Easter.
Oh wow,
yeah, we're done with the whole. Or no, we did one, I think, right after that. But we're done with the whole number thing, I think. The last couple episodes that I posted were just kind of like titled, like when Purdue's March Madness run and stuff like that. So I think we're you don't have to worrying about the numbers anymore. I'll come up with the title for you, buddy.
Perfect. Yeah, I mean, not too much going on. It is the off season, so we'll be doing about one episode a month at the end of each month during the off season. Try and let some stuff happen prior to doing a show. Really, the month of May, there's not a whole lot that's happened. School's out. I think everyone is on summer vacation. Football wise, they've got their summer break before they report back. I think June 9th. I know that the incoming freshmen are there. So not really a whole lot. We'll talk about a couple of the recent Purdue commits in basketball on the 2020 class. And we'll also talk about the grad transfer we got in that class as well. So outfitting to kind of replace – looks like the fiance's home.
Or the dog just wants to talk recruiting.
Right? Yeah, that's actually what she's barking about. But got a grad transfer, obviously looking to replace Carson Edwards. Obviously not replace, but
need somebody to kind of step in.
Yes, exactly. So we'll jump right in here if I can find it. We'll start. Actually, I guess we'll start with the 2020 recruiting class, and that first name is Jaden Ivey. It's a point guard from the state of Indiana, and I read something about Painter and how he recruits. And I was one of those fans that, always kind of got a little upset about Painter not going after those big guys, those 5-star guys that maybe, Matt Izzo.
Matt Izzo.
Jeez. Tom Izzo goes after, obviously the blue bloods are always grabbing those guys. So, but I read something that he's very peculiar in how he recruits, and I now understand kind of what we get, with him. And I'm, obviously the development of talent allows Purdue to be such a good program. So with that being said, Jaden Ivey is from Mishawaka, Indiana. He's 6'3", 180-pound point guard, 3-star guy. And that might be because we got Ethan Morton, who will range from 4-star to 5-star, and we're we'll see what we're going after. We've got one scholarship left, so we're really strapped on scholarships, and that might be one thing that kind of hurts. Not hurts Purdue, but when you're developing talent, a guy stay for 4 years, so you kind of shortchange yourself a little bit. So we have 3 for the 2020 class. Jaden Ivey has 1, and again, will he see time immediately? I don't know. It's really tough to say with Painter. Like I said, he's in the 2020 class, so we won't see him this coming season, but the following. So does Nojo Eastern leave for the pros? Some exciting videos of him practicing his jump shot. So I guess the better question is, are we going to see Nojo Eastern shoot from the floor?
Ooh.
Right? That's definitely something to consider. And if he does develop that, does that mean he leaves early? Right. I mean, 6'6" point guard.
Yep.
That's got size. He's obviously great on defense. Defense already, but he's just really got to develop his game. He's gotten better driving the lane, but we'll see. So Jaden Ivey, maybe he comes in and plays a little bit a la Eric Hunter, or maybe he comes in and, pushes for more playing time, that sort of thing. So with Nogel Eastern, does he leave early? Does he not? He's been working on his game, like we said, and that will free up scholarship, but that's down the road. And that's, with the point guard situation, you have Eric Hunter Jr. behind him. And then I don't know if it's listed correctly. I did just say Jaden Ivey is listed as a point guard, but I think he's actually a shooting guard.
Yeah, he's a shooting guard according to 24/7.
Yeah, Big Fish is Ethan Morton, which I literally just complained about Painter not doing that. But here he is getting a top 50 player in the entire country. He is a point guard. He's not listed as one on 24/7, but I'm 98% sure that he is a point guard. Number 1 in the state, 41th nationally. I mean, just a big time get. 6'4", 195, complete game, great vision, great passes, and he can go score for himself. So I know he'll definitely probably see time. Painter had been after him for a long time.
Probably a better version. He'll end up being a better version of like a Ryan Klein.
Oh, I mean,
I can see him being like a Ryan Klein production type at the end of his freshman year, and then like just skyrocket his sophomore year.
It's just tough because Ryan Klein was a pure shooter versus Morton can ball handle and get to the basket and shoot. Sure. So honestly, I have no comparison. Production-wise, maybe depending on how aggressive he is, maybe a little Carson Edwards-esque his freshman year. So obviously Carson was a pure scorer, but maybe we'll see a little more assists from Ethan.
Definitely exciting pickup for you guys regardless.
Yeah, so that was huge for Purdue to get that guy, and they're working on a couple of guys, but the big name is Hunter Dickinson, 5-star center who is a top 25 player nationally. So, again, my gripes must whatever. He's a 7'2" center that's got he's immensely talented for his size. Obviously, Purdue's known for his size. AJ Hammonds, followed by Isaac Haas, followed by Matt Harms. So, obviously Travion Williams doing his thing.
And then the thing about Dickinson, too, that I like versus Harms, he's already 255.
Yes, he is. He might be a one-dunner if he comes to Purdue. But, I mean, people gripe about not having those, and we would have one around, and he would have a really good team around him. Obviously, you get arguably one of the best big men in the country. So with Hunter Dixon being added on and just pairing him with Ethan Morton, you'd have quite the formidable class in 2020. So
probably one of the best ones you guys have had in a while, huh?
Or the best. Yeah. I'm not sure, but 2019 added Jihad Proctor, grad transfer from Highland, just to, another shooting guy to offset the point loss from Carson Edwards leaving. So 2019 should still be a pretty good year for Purdue. Obviously, Isaiah Thompson, Mason Gillis, and Brandon Newman coming in, and development of Sasha Stavanovich, Aaron Wheeler, and those guys. So basketball, that's really it for basketball. Pretty slow, and the 2019 class is signed, working on 2020, and there's really only one scholarship to play with there. So Hunter Dickinson's the name. There's a couple other guys if we don't get them, but it's been pretty clear that he is the guy that Purdue really wants to finalize the class. Talking about recruiting, the last bit of, for football, obviously Jeff Brom and company recruiting for this class and next year's class. Not as many scholarships this year, so we're not going to see a full 25-person class or an oversignage by any means. But that means that Purdue has been targeting some high-level guys. So
Siren.
Yeah, so we'll talk about some official visits. June has been, not always, but recently been the big month for Purdue recruiting. Jeff Brom's first year was, obviously June with Jalen Alexander committing and started that whole trend. And so really, that's just a big month for Purdue. And obviously we've got 3 guys already, which is good, but looking to add some big time talent. So we'll start, the weekend of May 30th through June 1st. Defensive end Sean Martin and outside linebacker Jalen Parker, both 3-star guys. Sean Martin is from West Virginia, and Jalen Parker is from Georgia. Sean Martin is the number 1 recruit in the state of West Virginia, so would be a pretty big time get. And if I remember correctly, he's being courted by a lot of teams. June 1st is an unofficial, so probably going to be tacked on with the 2 official guys. Jeff Petrowski from Ohio, an inside linebacker, 6'2", 235. Some pretty good things about him. And Purdue's linebacker situation is thin at the at its best. So can always use some help there to help with Ben Cruel, who will be coming in next year. And there's I think a couple guys this year that will be added, but a couple of them are outside linebackers. So no true Mike linebackers. He's coming in. I'm excited about this one. It's an unofficial visit, June 3rd. Listen to this name, John. Chubba Purdy. Yep, dual threat quarterback from Gilbert, Arizona. Obviously, Jeff Brom has
that quarterback. That's one of the ones we're after.
Jack Plummer. Yes, geez. No relation to Jake Plummer. I've answered that question a couple of times. Huh? No, that's Garrett Miller.
Is that tight end with the hair?
Quarterback. But anyway, so I'm excited for him. He's listed as a 3-star, but he is a 4-star, I believe, composite on 24/7. And there's just been a trend of dual threat guys. So I can't even imagine what a dual threat guy would look like in Jeff Brom's offense. Obviously David Blau running around. He's not a true dual threat quarterback, but he can make stuff happen. Now imagine an actual dual threat guy back there. So June 7th through the 9th, we've got a couple of official visits. Garnett Hollis, the cornerback from Franklin, Tennessee. Dejuan McDougal from Deerfield, Florida. And then a couple of big ones. Chris Mayo, 4-star guard out of New Jersey. And Marcus Harper, a 3-star guard out of Illinois that was previously committed to the U of I, but decommitted and reopened recruitment. So he's coming to Purdue to take a look. Personally, looking at this, I know Garnett Hollis loved his unofficial visit. And I would love to have a 6'1" cornerback out of the state of Kentucky come in. Obviously, Purdue is hurting in the interior of the line, and they're looking to build. We've got the skill positions. We've done well on defense. Now it's time to ramp up the line. Chris Mayo will be a huge add, but he is being courted by some big-time guys as well. So Purdue will have to knock his socks off on that trip. But so some big-time names June 7th through the 9th. June 11th through the 13th, just one name, recent guy, I'm going to butcher his name, I think it's Sanosi Kane, safety out of New Jersey, who's been picking up traction in his recruiting trail. So Purdue got in there, offered, and set his official visit. So he'll be coming in. Then June 14th through the 16th will be a huge day. Okay, so starting with Jordan Turner from Farmington, Michigan, 6'3", 225 outside linebacker. Then a 4-star running back from New York, Tyreek Murphy, who is a stud. Also followed up by Darvin Hubbard from Arizona, who's another stud, 4-star composite on 24/7. Bengali Kamara is a linebacker that I really think wanted to commit to Penn State, but they basically told him don't because we're not sure if we're going to take you. So he's coming to Purdue on an official visit. He's got some other ones too, but hopefully with that, I think Purdue may have been up there on his list. So that'll be a big day. And another one that Purdue is duking it out with, Marcellus Moore from Plainfield, Illinois, which I actually know where that is, next to Springfield. They're recruiting him as basically a Rondell Moore. This dude has lightning speed. I mean, he is an immensely good track runner. So it would just be another one of those things where Purdue's just adding some more speed. And I really cannot imagine Rondell Moore, in what might be his last year in 2 years with Marcellus Moore. You just go from one more to another, and basically you just get speedsters, and I love that. Purdue thrives on that. So that's a big weekend, some big names coming in. All those guys are being highly touted by other schools. Really good to see that Purdue's kind of playing in the sand with the big dogs, so to speak. June official visits up to this point, it's Cullen Coleman, an outside linebacker from New York. He's listed as a linebacker, but Purdue is recruiting him as a running back. And for those of you that don't know, Evan Anderson left the program. I believe his mother had passed away, and he is from Georgia, so he left to be. So, certainly hope all is well with that young man. But that does kind of leave the backfield in question. DJ Knox and Markel Jones leaving are the two seniors. So the running back room without Evan Anderson is Tario Fuller, who is injury prone, great athlete, hoping he can stay healthy, but you just never know. Richie Worship might be done. He got hurt in 2017 with an ACL, and he's just been having horrible problems with that. So I honestly, I don't know if he'll be back at all. He continues to be listed as someone that just can't medically is not ready. So that's really tough to hear because he was fun to watch in 2017 as that power back. Xander Horvath is the other guy, and Alfred Armour walk on. So you got two running backs in I'm not going to remember their names. King DeRoe and, the last one's escaping me. So I apologize. But you have two running backs coming in June that will probably be able to push for playing time. So really Purdue being able to bring these big-time running backs in and say, hey, look, guys, you can come in here and play. Because Tario Fuller's a senior this year, and he'll be gone. And I think Richie Worship is too. So there's a hole there certainly at running back. And to wrap up the official visits, these will be in season, so not in June, but I know Malik Carr is September 14th. He is the 4-star wide receiver out of Oak Park, Michigan, 6'5". I know he's around the 230, 235, 240 range.
He's actually probably going to play the tight end position, it seems like.
See, that's what everyone says, but everyone's recruiting him as a wide receiver, so I'm thinking like Mike Evans style.
Yeah. Evans style. It's finally 24/7 just changed like 2 days ago to tight end.
Yeah, because he's a little bigger, but
I still think he wants to play wide receiver though.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad either. So
yeah, I think it's honestly I think it's between Michigan and you guys. Michigan with the lead.
Yeah, well, I know for what's worth, he came up to Purdue in between basketball games. Yeah. And Purdue has offered him the chance to play football and basketball. So I really don't know how that would work, but...
Well, honestly, God, in probably like 2008, Michigan State had a kid who played like 25 minutes a game in basketball and was our star wide receiver. So, I mean, it can happen.
Yeah,
It's just rare.
I know Purdue's using that as a recruiting tool, and I really think he likes Purdue a lot. So
Yeah, because he loves playing basketball too. So if you guys can get him on both, I mean, this is gonna be a huge. And everything he posts on Twitter about you guys, he loves. So
yeah, and I would have thought Michigan was going to win that out too. Then suddenly something flipped.
He's been like a lock to Michigan for a while, but you guys have like come in with late momentum. Like I gave up on paying attention to him for us a while ago.
So he might be the big guy to keep an eye out on. Another one in season, Deontay Craig from Culver Academy in Culver, Indiana.
Yep, I was just looking at him for us.
He's being courted by Notre Dame, Ohio State, sounds like Michigan State. He wants to stay somewhat close to home. He's a big family. So Purdue, obviously, if they knock his socks off in this official visit, he has been on an unofficial at Purdue. But, we'll see on that. A name that's not listed on here, but one to kind of just keep your eye on is 4-star wide receiver. I think he's a top 50 player in the country from IMG Academies, Michael Redding III.
Yep.
Right now, it's just kind of it's been talked about Notre Dame and Florida State. He has mentioned Purdue a couple times, but who knows if he's smoke screening or not. His former roommate it will be a preferred walk on this year at Purdue. Who knows? Obviously, I think I said he might be coming in and committing in the fall. But no one really has any good idea of where he's going. So that is a name I'm excited about and that we should keep an eye on in the future. But outside of that, the freshman report June 9th for their football activities. So the highly touted 2019 class will officially all be on campus. So hopefully we'll start hearing things about David Bell, Milton Wright, Marvin Grant, Mershawn Rice, all those guys. And we'll just gear up for the 2019 season. Like I said earlier in the show, we'll continue to bring you guys what we can at the end of the month if things change, which will mainly be about recruiting stuff and maybe a little bit outside of that. But that'll be remain to be seen. So it'll be short episodes from us, but hopefully some good information there.
And just keep following us on Twitter and stuff. We try to post the best updates we can. I mean, me and him both work, so whenever something huge comes out, we definitely tweet it. But we try to tweet about little updates here and there for you guys as we can. Yeah,
and there hasn't been anything to tweet about Purdue. It's been Michigan State because they've gotten some commitments. So hopefully in June, Purdue have that chance too, and we can get that ball rolling. But that's really it. Recruiting in the off season.
Recruiting season, baby.
Recruiting season. So outside of that, John, any final thoughts?
I wasn't gonna do this off air, but just because it's on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
I know Purdue fans and you really wanted this kid badly, but it's been good to see Malik Hall as an early enrollee at Michigan State. I've been seeing some Instagram videos of him in the gym with the boys, so can't wait to see him suit up next year. Although I honestly don't think he's going to play much next year, but I'm excited for him. I like him a lot.
Cool, dude. Cool story. Well, I guess on that note, as always,
Austin kicked me off the call.
As always, I'm Austin, co-host John Emmons. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a while. That's the update, and we're sticking to it during the off season. But we will see you guys next time.
Hey, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you heard tonight, subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Voice of the Fan, and also give us a listen on SoundCloud. And if you could, like our page on Facebook at Voice of the Fan and follow us on Twitter at Voice of the Fan PC. Thanks, everyone.